Were you shocked when you heard Laurinaitis was fired from the WWE? What did Triple H have to say about this? Keep watching closely. We've got everything you need to know about the recent allegations against Laurinaitis and Vince McMahon coming right up. Firstly, when was Laurinaitis fired? According to a story from PW Insider published on Monday, Laurinaitis was quietly fired by WWE at some time within the last week or so. Laurinaitis, 60, held the position of head of talent relations for WWE until he was placed on administrative leave in June. The Wall Street Journal reported in June that the WWE Board of Directors was looking into McMahon and Laurinaitis concerning a hidden $3 million payment McMahon had agreed to make with a former WWE paralegal with whom he allegedly had an affair. In the investigation, it was claimed that McMahon had treated the paralegal like a toy and given it to Laurinaitis. In addition, the board of directors' investigation turned up other older non-disclosure agreements involving claims by former female WWE employees of wrongdoing by McMahon and Laurinaitis, according to the Wall Street Journal. According to a follow-up study released last month, McMahon agreed to pay more than $12 million to 4 different women over 16 years to suppress claims of sexual misbehavior and infidelity. According to the article, the WWE Board of Directors investigated a non-disclosure agreement worth $1.5 million from 2012 that dealt with allegations of wrongdoing against Laurinaitis. According to a former coworker, Laurinaitis demoted her after she discontinued their relationship. Up next, how long has Laurinaitis worked with WWE? Laurinaitis, who had previously competed for WCW and in Japan, spent 20 years working behind the scenes for WWE. He has additionally appeared as an on-screen general manager on WWE television shows. From 2004 to 2012, when he was downgraded to a producer, Laurinaitis served as the head of talent relations for WWE. Laurinaitis returned to his previous position as director of talent relations for WWE in 2021. According to the Wall Street Journal, Laurinaitis' 2012 demotion coincided with the signing of the $1.5 million non-disclosure agreement. Additionally, on July 22nd, Paul Triple H Levesque was appointed as the organization's new executive vice president of talent relations. In addition to that position, Levesque is now in charge of WWE Creative due to McMahon's retirement. So please do not go anywhere. We have more news related to Laurinaitis, especially what Triple H had to say about it all. Keep watching, it's coming right up. Laurinaitis was mentioned in a Wall Street Journal article about purported hush payments made by former WWE chairman Vince McMahon. According to Wall Street Journal reporters Joe Palazzolo, Ted Mann, and Joe Flint, the WWE board looked into whether Laurinaitis had a sexual relationship with a paralegal working for the organization on July 8th. The board was also considering a $1.5 million non-disclosure deal that focused on allegations of wrongdoing against him. Following the initial Wall Street Journal report, WWE declared on June 17th that Laurinaitis and McMahon were the focus of an internal inquiry. The 60-year-old had been placed on administrative leave before WWE severed all relations, according to Palazzolo, Mann and Flint. So, who took over from Laurinaitis and McMahon? WWE declared on July 25th, 2022, that Nick Khan and Stephanie McMahon would take over as co-CEOs, with Stephanie assuming the role of board chair. Another position that Vince had before his retirement was that of the leader of the creative staff for WWE, which Triple H assumed. After WCW disbanded in 2001, Laurinaitis initially joined WWE. However, in 2007, he was promoted to senior vice president of talent relations, leaving that position in 2012. According to a March 2021 article by Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Laurinaitis had returned as the director of talent relations. Johnny Ace started making appearances on WWE programming in 2011 and took on the position of the Raw general manager, in addition to his work work backstage. He even returned to the ring, defeating John Cena in the 2012 Over the Limit main event. Following the charges against both John Laurinaitis and Vince McMahon, PW Insider reported earlier today that John Laurinaitis was still officially terminated by WWE. Up next, what has recent news said about the incident? PW Insider has since published a follow-up article reporting that the corporation formally fired Laurinaitis, albeit only a short while after the news was initially published. The report mentions that the termination occurred within the previous week or two and was kept very quiet outside of a narrow circle for apparent reasons. Although the precise date of the departure was not disclosed, each source to a person confirmed that Laurinaitis had been fired from the organization. Fans now know what John Laurinaitis' last few weeks in the organization were like, thanks to a backstage update on his departure from WWE. As reported earlier, Fightful Select has confirmed that Laurinaitis was dismissed last week. They said that until Triple H was appointed Executive Vice President of Talent Relations, he was still included in business emails. He was reportedly included in several company-wide emails that contained sensitive personnel information and creative issues. However, he was briefly taken off mailing list during the SmackDown episode on July 22nd. The following week, he was added back to them and stayed with them. Keep watching closely. Triple H had some very interesting things to say about this whole ordeal. We don't want you to miss out on it. So, how has the WWE handled this? As reported earlier, Fightful Select has confirmed that Laurinaitis was dismissed last week on a purported internal termination list that purportedly also featured McMahon's name. Laurinaitis' name was also added. Laurinaitis joined WWE in 2001 as a road agent after being transferred from WCW due to the company's acquisition of its former rival. Later, he was given the title of Director of Talent Relations, and in 2009, after moving up the corporate ladder, he was given the title of Executive Vice President. As the General Manager of Raw, he rose to prominence on screen in 2011. Before being designated the head of talent relations once more last year, he would work as a road agent once more in 2012. Laurinaitis initially joined WWE in March 2011 with WWE's acquisition of WCW, and up until 2012, he spent most of his time in the talent relations division. In March 2021, he was rehired as head of talent relations. Stephanie McMahon and Nick Khan were designated the new co-CEOs of the business after McMahon left, and Levesque took over as the new head of creative. During SummerSlam weekend, he made his first remarks after accepting the post. Up next, what did Paul Levesque have to say about how the WWE will continue? Triple H said, "This is the longest running television programming," and Levesque firmly rejected the notion that he could cover those voids alone. Everyone present will need to step into those shoes to carry on with this, but we will. The goal is to build on the legacy of what has already been accomplished and what made me fall in love with the company he founded, to move it past its current state. We must work as a team if we are to do that. That includes Stephanie McMahon, Nick Khan, Kevin Dunn, myself, and everyone else present. It also includes all of the talented individuals in this room. We have the most talented, diligent workforce in the entire world. With this team, I have no doubt that we can succeed," he continued. The board of directors of WWE declared that earlier financial reports would be amended and that McMahon's payments had to be shown as business costs. Federal prosecutors and the Securities and Exchange Commission are currently investigating the charges. McMahon has resigned from all corporate and creative responsibilities, and his daughter, Stephanie McMahon, has taken up the role of chairwoman and joint CEO with WWE President Nick Khan. Stephanie's husband, Paul Triple H Levesque, has taken up McMahon's duties as head of creative and Laurinaitis' responsibilities as Executive Vice President of Talent Relations. Lastly, what other unprofessional things has Laurinaitis done? Laurinaitis held a job from 2009 to 2012 before returning to his duties in talent relations in 2021. Laurinaitis' team in talent relations was not well received. For example, he presided over the incident in which Mickie James, a former WWE superstar, received her possessions in a garbage bag after being released earlier in the year. However, the public's awareness of Laurinaitis' Laurinaitis' behavior is currently only the tip of the iceberg, according to recent comments made by former WWE Tag Team Champion Rene Dupree. On top of the controversy surrounding Johnny Ace being fired, many fans were in fact excited about this. One reason in particular is due to the vast amount of wrestlers he brought on the show, who were just very muscular, but came without much of a real wrestling background. And there you have it. Everything you needed to know about why John Laurinaitis has officially been fired from the WWE. Were you shocked by everything that happened? We sure were. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe so you don't miss out on more content just like this.